What?
Hey, Severance fans, welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Episode 6 of Season 2 has just dropped, and wow, things are getting more intense by the minute. Mark is caught in a whirlwind of confusion as his two identities, the outie and the innie, begin to collide in unexpected and unsettling ways. Meanwhile, relationships shift, secrets unravel, and new twists emerge that will keep you questioning everything you thought you knew about this mind-bending show. Whether it's Mark's emotional breakdown or the explosive moments between Innie, Dylan, and Gretchen, this episode takes Severance to a whole new level of mystery and drama. So grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's dive into all the twists and turns of this wild ride.
Were you just at Lumen?
What time is it?
Are you?
Mark's reintegration struggles. Episode 6 picks up with Mark Scout continuing to undergo the reintegration process, a groundbreaking experiment designed to merge his severed innie and outie selves. After last week's jarring experience, where outie Mark unexpectedly encountered his supposed dead wife Gemma, the tension has only heightened. Mark's now dealing with the aftermath of those unsettling episodes. He meets with Regabi, who's eager to hear about his progress, but Mark is clearly shaken, and it's easy to understand why. Imagine waking up in a sterile office hall, only to be confronted by the ghost of your late spouse, except it's not really her. It's Ms. Casey, the wellness counselor at Lumen, who also happens to be posing as Gemma. Talk about a mind-bending experience. Mark's reaction is far from enthusiastic. Instead of seeing this as a breakthrough, he feels it's more of a nightmare, awkward, unnatural, and unsettling. Regabi, of course, is thrilled by what she views as progress, but Mark's not so sure. His gut tells him that something's off about how Lumen is handling his wife's memory. He wonders what they've done to her and why she's now repeating facts that are supposed to help him function better at work. That's some eerie stuff, right? But it doesn't end there. Mark's emotional turmoil continues to build throughout the episode as he talks about his grief over Gemma's death. He admits to still being stuck in the bargaining phase of grief, desperately wondering what he could do to change things and get her back. Regabi tries to reassure him, pushing him to focus on his reintegration process, but Mark's reluctance is evident. The hunger, confusion, and emotional distress are taking a toll on him, and we can't help but feel for him.
Mark. You okay?
The shifting realities. Mark's journey through reintegration is far from smooth. The episode plays with reality in a way that's almost disorienting. At one point, Innie Mark finds himself in the office kitchen rummaging through the refrigerator. But then things take a strange turn. The fridge starts to transform. He sees items from outie Mark's life, like beer bottles and medicine containers, only to shift back to the office space in the blink of an eye. It's a glitchy, almost surreal experience that leaves him confused and unsettled. And it doesn't stop there. The next time, he's back at his house, experiencing another sudden shift in reality, where he feels like he's outie Mark in the middle of a conversation with Regabi. These shifts reveal that the reintegration process isn't just merging his two selves physically, but also making them share experiences and memories. This moment of realization is pivotal. Regabi explains that the reintegration doesn't necessarily mean Innie and outie will permanently exist as one, but instead, they'll be able to access each other's memories and emotions. So while Mark experiences these strange glitches, it's actually a sign that the process is succeeding, despite the immense toll it's taking on his mental and emotional state. Regabi is ready to take the next step, and this is where things take a dark turn.
Off me. I am not doing this.
Close,
okay? Get this shit off.
We need to
right
push.
now.
Mark's decision to walk away. After another emotional breakdown, Mark finally walks out on Regabi. Her plans to flush the severance chip from his brain are all too much for him. The reintegration process has left him physically exhausted, mentally fried, and emotionally wrecked. Not to mention the intense hunger he's been experiencing, which is just one of the side effects of the reintegration. Mark's frustration boils over, and he simply can't handle any more of Regabi's experiments. In a pivotal moment, he walks out of her house, determined to reject the scientist's invasive procedures. But of course, this is Severance, so things are never that simple. Mark is soon confronted by the consequences of his decision.
You have every right.
No, I don't want her memory.
Okay.
Innie Mark and Helly's intimate moment, one of the most surprising moments of the episode, comes when Mark confesses to Helly about what happened between him and her outie self during the OR program. He admits that he essentially cheated on her, sleeping with the outie version of Helly, and it doesn't go over well. Helly is understandably shocked, and she's devastated by the betrayal. But her emotional reaction quickly shifts from heartbreak to anger as she realizes that it wasn't even Mark's fault. It was her outie counterpart, Helena, who used her appearance to manipulate Mark and others into doing things against their will. Helly's anger doesn't just stay in the emotional realm. She decides to take control of the situation and gets intimate with Mark in an unoccupied room in the office. While this marks a major step forward in their relationship, it also raises some serious questions. After all, how do we know for sure that this is really Helly and not Helena, using her appearance for her own twisted purposes? For Mark, it's clear that his feelings for Helly are genuine, but given what he's been through, shouldn't he have been more cautious? Nonetheless, their actions have now set a new trajectory for their relationship, and it's unclear where this will lead.
They canceled it. I didn't see him.
Dylan and Gretchen's complicated encounter. Meanwhile, Dylan's own journey continues to be marked by complications. His wife Gretchen pays him another visit at the office, where she has an oddly intimate conversation with Dylan. There's a clear emotional connection between the two, which is surprising since Dylan is, well, a version of her husband. Dylan is more open, more vulnerable, and emotionally available than outie Dylan, who has grown more closed off over the years. The two share a hug, which quickly escalates into a passionate kiss. While this seems like it could just be a one-time thing, things get much more complicated. Gretchen lies to outie Dylan about the visit, saying that the session was canceled. This signals that Gretchen is already emotionally invested in her interactions with Dylan, and she may even be starting to develop feelings for him. She's effectively having an affair with her own husband's which adds another layer of complexity to the show's already tangled web.
Can go to heaven.
Mostly Audie burns.
Irving's dinner with Bert. As if things weren't complicated enough, we also get a glimpse of outie Irving's life outside the office. He has dinner with Bert, who lives with his husband Fields. While the dinner starts off uneventfully, one strange thing happens. Fields mentions that Bert has been working at Lumen for 20 years. But wait, Severance technology was only invented about 12 years ago. This throws up some major red flags. Bert quickly corrects Fields, stating that he's been at Lumen for only 10 years, but there's something suspicious about his insistence on downplaying his long history with the company. By the end of the episode, it becomes clear that Bert might have more to do with Lumen than he's letting on. He could have been involved in the creation of Severance technology, which means his connection to the company goes far deeper than just his job. Irving's own connection to Lumen is also shrouded in mystery, especially with his secretive phone calls and obsession with the exports hallway. This dinner seems to serve as a setup for further revelations, and it's likely that Irving's connection to Lumen will be explored more in upcoming episodes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be sorry.
Really?
Mark's final decision. In the final moments of the episode, Mark experiences yet another reintegration episode. After his emotional breakdown, he's approached by Helena at a restaurant. She feigns sympathy, acting as though she's concerned about him and his grief over Gemma's death. But we all know she has an ulterior motive. She wants to gather information about his reintegration experience and uses the opportunity to push him back toward Lumen. Mark, realizing that he's being tracked and monitored by Lumen, ultimately decides to go through with the reintegration procedure. He goes home and tells Ray Gabi to continue the experiment. The procedure begins, and things quickly take a dark turn. As Mark starts to experience the physical effects of reintegration, his body begins to react violently, but just as things seem to reach a breaking point, the doorbell rings. It's his sister, Devin, and the procedure is abruptly interrupted. With Mark collapsing from the strain of the process, it's unclear what will happen next. Will he fully reintegrate with his innie self? And what consequences will this have for his body and mind? We'll have to wait for the next episode to find out.
Yeah, so we should do it again sometime.
Our nerdy thoughts. So there you have it, Severance Season 2. Episode 6 was a roller coaster of emotions, new developments, and cliffhangers. Mark's reintegration process, the tense interactions between Mark and Helly, Dylan's emotional affair with Gretchen, and the mystery surrounding Bert and Irving are all key plot points that will keep us on the edge of our seats. As always, Severance continues to raise more questions than answers, but that's what makes it such a gripping show. Can't wait to see where it all leads next. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, comment, and subscribe for more Severance breakdowns and discussions.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.